you can relate it into a very quick algebra problem. I'm not going to get, bless you, I'm not going to get probably too any much fancier than that, because to be honest with you, when we get into the congruency parts, it's going to be less letters, probably starting tomorrow and or Monday, but today it's just a basic idea. So here's what things are going to do. We have what they call congruence. If two objects are congruent if all corresponding parts are congruent. So two objects can be congruent to one another. They don't have to be necessarily triangles. They can be rectangles or some sort of polygon or whatever. But as long as all of their corresponding parts match up, then those objects themselves become congruent. And what happens here is that this is where lettering and following how the pattern of the letters work, bless you. If you follow through on those parts, everything else falls into place. Okay? So let me show you just a polygon one. Make it really easy. Okay? So if I take, you're all right, Wilson? If I do this, if I say that I have, I don't want to do a square. Let's do a hexagon. Let's say I have a hexagon. I know. And hexagon has 5 parts: A, B, C, D, and E. So I have hexagon A, B, C, D, E because it has 5 sides. It'll have 5 angles. Okay. I just drew a little hexagon there. It's not perfect, but whatever. If I say that this hexagon is congruent to another hexagon, oh, that's awful. Let's just do this. That way we know there's both as ugly as each other.
Oh, wow. Technology.
So, did I say hexagon or pentagon? Thank you.
Sorry.
Wow. Pentagon.
So no one in this class knows.
I obviously.
We all just know it's fine. We're like, oh yeah, let's go. So
he says W, X, Y, Z, so the
Mr. Murphy. Mr. Murphy. Can you move for a second, please?
corresponding.
Corresponding.
I'll show you here in a sec. So, let's see. Then we have. I'm just going straight through the alphabet here. So here's what happens. If you have two objects and they say that they're going to be congruent to each other, that means that all of the corresponding parts are going to be congruent to each other. So what you take into effect here is letter placement. Okay? What is the first letter on the hexagon on the left? What's the first letter of the hexagon on the right? Therefore, those two match up and they have to be the same. So here's what it does. Put this on another sheet here. What we can do is take this generic statement and say that just by the way that things written out, angle A and angle F match up to each other. Those two angles would be congruent. Be a good idea. And it just continues to go on through that statement, letter by letter. The second letter is B. The second letter on the other one is G. Those two are the same. And so on and so forth. So what we're doing here is we're writing down what's called a congruency statement. We're writing down all the different congruent parts via just the lettering. So if you have a congruency statement given to you like this, you therefore will know which parts match up. Not only with their angles, but also with their sides. And I'll show you how that works here in a second. And I guess I could have done this with a, what do you call it, a triangle to start out with, but in this section they use other shapes as well, so this might as well just go with the long form here. Now, think about how the lettering goes. When you're lettering something, they letter objects from the vertices. So if you have this hexagon, this pentagon, you have this mysterious, ugly, awesome pentagon. And if you go through that, you pick a spot, A, B, C, D, and E. You have segments, okay? You've got segments that are created. The segments are created by endpoints of vertices. Segment AB, GC, CD, DE, EA. It all letters out. Yes, sir?
Your pentagons look like home base plates.
Thank you. So, watch what your letters do. A and B are the first two letters. What segment will that match up with the other one? That's all it is, guys. And it goes on throughout all of them. AB corresponds to FG. What's that?
This is it.
Yeah.
I really, this is like the best one.
Like, we might as well just take the final right now.
Just not this. Yeah, just not this.
Go do
Like
this.
nothing else.
And maybe like the worksheet from yesterday.
Now, I do want to show you this one thing, though, when it gets down to the last letters. Watch what happens when you have your last segment. I go with the last letter to first letter. What would have to correspond on the other side?
Could you do A, E?
Yes, I can do AE, but what would I have to do on the other side? Very good. Now, here's the thing, guys. When you're dealing with congruency statements, especially for segments, AB is the same thing as BA, but if you say BA, what would you have to say on the other side?
F, or G.
Yeah, you have to go GF. It tells you what direction to read it, okay? It's all about how the lettering starts. Usually when we write these out, we go from left to right, but the book will say, hey, what is the segment that corresponds to IH? Well, the segment that corresponds to IH would be DC. Very good. That's it. Okay? It's a matter of just reading how the lettering is placed. How is it written out, in what order, and that's how you go from it. Usually what they do is they just pick a spot and label and write it out. Now, what this is going to allow you to be able to do, these congruency statements, not only write out the congruency statement, because that's what it is, here's all your angles, there's all your sides, you're going to also be able to do this. In this diagram, it tells you that DEFG is congruent to SPQR. And then it gives you a little bit of numbers and variables and things like that. You have to figure out what matches up with what. Now, a lot of times, they're not going to draw the exact same image right next to each other. They're going to invert it, flip it, reflect it, do something like this, just so it makes you have to think for a second. But if you follow the lettering, it's very, very easy. D matches up to what letter? So D is 102, which means S is 102. G matches up with R. So G is 84, R is, see how this is working? Okay. F matches up then with Q. So F is 68, Q is 68. So I know this right now. 68 is going to equal 6y plus x. Uh-oh, that doesn't look like fun because I get two variables. But I continue on. I have nothing about angle E, so I don't have to worry about angle E matching up with P, which is good because we don't know what either one of them is. In a couple of weeks, we can probably figure it out, though. It's easy. Okay. So now you look at your segments. We have segment DE. So DE is the first two letters, which means it matches up with SP. So DE is 8, SP is 8. Well, that's not helping me yet. GF, going right to left, is RQ. So 12 is 2x minus 4. Bless you. And now it's just a matter of a two-step equation. So what do?
+4.
Add 4, then what? What's 12 plus 4?
16.
What's 16 divided by 2?
8.
And now you can go back to here.
Nice.
10.
Good. Subtract the 8 again. And you get 10. See how fast that is? It's very, very, very fast.
It's fast and furious.
You might not be able to solve for both variables right off the bat, which is fine. It's a matter of figuring out what information do you have within the problem to finish it out. These should be really easy to set up. Okay? There's really not a lot of craziness here, which is good. All right. Take a minute and do that one. Come on. Thank you. More of our time is dealing with triangles. So to start out with this one here, it's again just a matter of matching up your letters. Okay? So you've got angle A. Angle A has to match up with what? D. So 22 is 5y minus 3. What's y? Very good. Math! You gotta say it more fun.
Science. Oh, wait, man.
And then side AC, first and last, matches to DF. So 9 is 3x, x is 3. I will warn you guys, they will mix together other letters and other numbers. They're not just going to be, oh, there's only one segment given. There's only one segment I'm trying to find. They're not always that easy. You will actually have to read. I know we're asking a lot, but you can do it. Believe in something somebody once told you, and you'll be fine. Let me give you guys some problems. Like I said, we didn't have much going on for note-wise here today. It is relatively straightforward. So in your book, we're in 4.2. So I'd like you guys to do, shh, guys. This is page 228. We'll do numbers.
Yeah, I agree.
5 through 10.
1, 5.
Yeah, I know, I'm a jerk. You'll get over it. All right, we'll do those. I'll pull this up here in a second for you guys. Hey, I'm just moving it up here so some knuckleheads that don't have their books in front of them, they can start this.
5 through 10 and something else, and I think it was 19 through 21.
Yeah, I'll have it up on the board here in a second. Like I said, I just wanted to give everybody a...
Call freeze. So it's
1 through 1. 1 through 1.
Sure. I'm actually
7.
sure.
5 through 10.
Oh man, that's a lot.